Hello my friends and welcome. We have the movement of Ukrainian army today towards Robotyne. As you can see, the fighting is ongoing just in the central part of the village. However, from the information I have, Ukrainian army reached the south border of the village. It's too early to say that Robotyne is liberated by Ukrainian army. No, it's not like that for this hour. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow that information might be confirmed. But some of the Russian military bloggers already say that the Russian army was forced to leave Robotyne village. This information might not be correct, but Russia has the other defense line and they may secure temporarily their army in this region. What is interesting about the Robotyne direction, it seems like Ukraine started to use the main reserves, the 82nd Motorized Brigade that had been created just before the start of the counteroffensive. Those guys do have Marders and Challenger 2 tanks, and they were already spotted not far away from the front line, so soon Ukraine will use them. Speaking about this bridgehead, mainly Ukraine has two of the directions of attack, one towards Robotyne, the other one is over here that is used to expand this territory. And actually in this area Ukraine already touches the main defense line that Russia was able to create. It goes from the first defense line to the main one. Also we have the videos from the other brigades confirming the assault operation of Ukrainian army in Robotyne. Here you can see Bradley and our warrior. The Deep State map resource confirms the movement of Ukrainian army to southeast and also over here to southwest. And they has already put the part of the Robotyne village into the blue area and the part of the village into the gray zone. There is no red zone any longer. But as I say to you, it's early to say about the full liberation of this village. My friends, before we continue with other news, let me shout out the sponsor and also the partner of my YouTube channel. Yes, it is the Atlas VPN. They came out with a special deal for my followers where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $170 per month plus 6 months for free. It is the best deal out there for the premium VPN services. If you don't care about your digital security, my friends, think twice. 5 years ago, I lost my Pilot Blog YouTube channel and I have to restart it. Basically, my device was hacked. If I would have used Atlas VPN, it won't be happening. So I tried many VPNs since that time, but for Atlas VPN, I trust the most. Also, Atlas VPN grants me the full access to any kind of series on the Netflix streaming platform. So I don't care about the government restrictions any longer. And sometimes I check the enemy side social media, and for that I also use the Atlas VPN. You can basically change your virtual location to any point in the world. And Atlas VPN is so fast that you will never feel the difference whether it's on or off. But I do recommend it to keep it on all the time. And now my friends, please check out my personal link in the video description just below where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $170 per month plus you'll have 6 months for free. It is the limited offer and it is made especially for my followers, so hurry up to join the club. Let's speak about the other sector in Staromlynivka. It is understandable that Ukraine is getting ready for the further assault towards that very important village. The Ukrainian army uses the Vampire rocket artillery system and also the Grad system to target the Russian positions in Staromlynivka. The full video I will share on my Telegram channel. It was recorded today and it's the first stage of the preparation of the Ukrainian attack towards the Staromlynivka. So first goes the rocket artillery, then the standard artillery, and then tanks, infantry vehicles, and infantry itself. The Russian soldiers start to complain about their desperate situation in Zavitne and Staromlynivka. They shared this information in the social media, and the Russian military bloggers also put their attention on this issue. The Russian army is in lack of the counter-artillery radars, so they are unable to target our artillery, but we have lots of those systems, so we may identify the positions of the Russian artillery and effectively seize it. General Mark Milley in his interview to the Washington Post says that we should expect that this war may continue for a very long time with heavy losses from both of the sides. He admits, however, that Russia has many more losses. They have problems with logistics, with military army command, and many more issues. The Ukrainian army attacks right now, but it's a very hard battle for us. He says that it is real to deoccupy all of the Ukrainian territory, but again, it will take lots of the time. But also, the same goals might be reached with the help of the diplomatic solution, he says, probably. Well, honestly, I don't see the near perspective of the diplomatic solution to be implemented in this war. First of all, the Russian regime should collapse, because the main strategy of Putin is to take the territories of Ukraine. Maybe not all, but for sure including Kiev. Their dream is to put the puppet government in charge of Ukraine and then use Ukraine and our people to attack the other countries. They openly say about it. Even this Kadyrov guy says today that he's sure that Russia will win in this special military operation and then going to attack the other countries that are not okay with Russia. Most of the countries, I think. The Russian Federation is the only old-school empire on our planet Earth. So to live further, they need to take more new territories. Just remember that Putin took Crimea under control by the Russian Federation, occupying it. The rating of president rose more than 80%. Before the occupation of Crimea, it was nearly 50%. So Russian society needs this chauvinist idea of taking more ground. Not all of them, but majority. That is what they call the Russian peace, occupying new places and put their own puppet government in charge. How they put this Chechen leader to rule Chechnya. Now let's go to the deep state military map. They have the update in Kherson region. This is the new gray area, the landing operation of Ukrainian army in Kazachy Lahiry. Well, actually Kazachy Lahiry is a little further away. Our guys were there but were forced to retreat, and now they're controlling this territory. Why they had left the village? Because it was impossible to resist against the Russian reinforcements that finally they were able to send to Kazachy Lahiry. The Russian army even showed some of the videos confirming that Ukrainians left the place, but still we have this bridgehead on the other shore that is still controlled by the Ukrainian army. The landing operation was conducted by the special forces of Ukraine, but later on the regular army soldiers were sent to secure the perimeter. In general, I think that this landing operation was successful, but Ukraine hadn't had enough resources to move towards this road and cut supplies for the Russian army. Hopefully in the future we're gonna accumulate some of the resources at this bridgehead and then move towards the road. The ISW resource confirms the successful advancement of Ukrainian army on the south and confirms that Russia is unable to move in the Kharkiv region. They prepared lots of the forces, but Ukrainian defense was able to stop the Russian aggression in the Kharkiv region. That is why the 82nd Brigade was released to fight on the south. The Russian military airfield Soltsi was targeted today by the drones. It is located 675 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border, and it is the base for the Russian strategic bombers Tu-22M3. Russia uses this airfield for their attacks of civilian and military infrastructure in Ukraine. The black smoke that was coming from the airfield was spotted by locals. For this hour, we don't have the confirmation what exactly was hit, but some rumors from some of the Russian resources stated that 2 of the bombers were severely damaged. Judging on the smoke, I might say that something is really kaboomed in this airfield. Russia targets the civilian places in Ukraine. For example, this theater was hit by the ballistic Iskander rocket fired from the Russian territory. According to the Ukrainian media resources, there was the drone exhibition over there presented only for civilians. The purpose of this event was to show to society, to civilians, the importance of the drones. Unfortunately, there are many casualties, but no military men were hurt from what I understood. The exhibition exhibition in this theater was created by the volunteer funds and it was announced. I think that those kind of the events shouldn't happen, especially 70 kilometers away from the Russian or Belarusian border. Civilians had just 1 minute between the air sirens were announced and the actual impact of the Russian missile. It is understandable that we are in war with barbarian state, so those events again shouldn't happen. One of the technicians in Novorossiysk port showed the damage to the Sikh Russian tanker. As you can see, it's a very huge hole in the tanker body. It's around 8 meters in diameter. There goes the technical room and the main engine, so for sure it was at least severely damaged and this tanker will now go for a very long time. It is a pure miracle that this tanker made it to the Russian port. Russia has found some extra forces to send for the military drills in Belarus. At the same time, the Wagner army shrinks in Belarus. Many of the Wagner soldiers leave Wagner because they do not obtain the same money as were before. Before there were 5,800 soldiers in Belarus and now 4,400. But it doesn't mean that those soldiers will never fight. They go to Africa for more profitable contracts. The training of Ukrainian pilots and engineers on F-16s has already begun in Europe. Well, actually, I think it started early this month and ongoing already. In a couple of weeks, the Rheinmetall concern will open the maintenance facility in Ukraine to repair the Leopard 2 tanks. I think they will also take care about the Leopard 1. Today, President Zelensky said that Ukrainian army is looking for more options of the Western-made fighter jets. For example, Saab Gripen. He said that Ukrainian pilots and engineers went in Sweden already for the test training on those airplanes. The similar test training was done with 2 Ukrainian pilots earlier this year in United States Air Base. And after that, the United States agreed the full training of Ukrainian pilots. There could be the similar scenario with Saab GAS-39 Gripen. Russia says that they've shut down the S-200 rocket that Ukraine sent to target the Kerch Bridge again. They even show this big crater as the evidence. And some of the debris as well. Could it be the Ukrainian rocket? Yes, it could. Remember I told you about the Russian moon program and how they want to conquer the moon by launching the autonomous satellite to gather the information from the moon. Well, they have the problems with that. Today, the Russian space agency Roscosmos admitted that they had the very big problems in putting the satellite into its orbit. So the special moon operation doesn't go according to plan, as everything in Russia. My friends, and now please press the like to this video and also don't forget to check my personal link in the video description just below where you may get the A+ VPN Premium with a huge discount that was especially made for my followers. So hurry up to join the club. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.